Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Wormer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. And we are about to do a testifying, once again, of Unedo Tornado, right? He did it. He managed to convince Unedo with his power of suggestion technique. He honestly did a great job. He used Nayuta's own powers against him. Bully for you, Unedo. That's a real Rakugo artist should be. Alright. If the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. Honestly, you know what's crazy about Nayuta saying this? He's like, it's the same ploy he tried to use as well on us. In a way, he tried to turn the people of the gallery against us so we would give up. He tried to put the pressure on us. And this happens all the time when anyone who uses like techniques like this, or anyone who has like kind of like manipulation techniques like this. When you use it against them, they get angry because they know what it is. They're aware of it. They're like, oh, my plan, you know? But that just makes him a more interesting character as well. Here we go. Here's the adorable Unedo Tornado. Look at this, the pose. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. This is so cute. I called him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. Okay. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over on the table, motionless. Whoa, wait, what? That's the testimony? From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony. It's pretty good. Like, I mean, it's like, what can we press on this even? Like, it's pretty straightforward in a way. Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Somebody's right. I don't see anything inconsistent either. But I did pick up on some faint Oh, I almost forgot. Moon Matrix. Yeah, Moon Matrix. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation. I love her hold it so much. I love it so much. I disagree, Your Honor. I detect discord in the voice of the witness's heart. That's a clear indication that Unedo is facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on the witness. The smile she has as well. I mean, that's like the best thing that like Athena can do. It's like her biggest talent, I guess, amongst like her support and her willingness to. And I wouldn't say it's a talent, but it's a great trait she has, which is her willingness to defend the people she loves. This is a really good thing she has as well. Objection. Oh. You know, there's no need for you to submit to the so-called therapy. It's fine by me. I think this character is so fabulous. I really do. I've nothing to hide. Bring it on. Impetuous fool. Why will you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother? If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, prosecutor. In one ear and out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance. Prosecutor Sad Monk is crazy. Just know this, Unedo, your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Thanks, Simon. I'm going to make the most of this opportunity you created for me. Just keep your wits about you. I love the dynamic. Because Simon doesn't want to fully admit that he's helping her, but he is. And she doesn't want to like fully take his help in a very direct way. But they're starting to warm up to each other closer, right? For sure. I will. Unedo, could you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? Here we go. Moon Matrix, I find Moon Matrix is way easier than Seance, for sure. It's way, because usually it's just like a matter of like, you know, and the artwork's really cute as well. Because usually what happens is like, I punched him in the face, and then instead of him being like angry or something, it's happy. And it's like, oh, why were you happy when you punched him in the face? That type of thing. It's actually kind of easy to look at this stuff. So after my performance, I went to visit Shisho. He was happy. He looked so happy, very adorable. I called to him from the outside the room, but he didn't reply. Okay, so he's still not upset. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table motionless, so he's sad about this. Okay. What are the other emotions again? We'll have to look at the other emotions again, because that's the most important scene, I think. I don't really notice any unexpected emotions in that testimony. But isn't always a question of the presence of an emotionless response, but The absence of an emotion. So one of the absences in that scene, yeah. You know, you're right. It's not always emotions I do see. Sometimes it's a matter of what I don't, but would expect to see. I better carefully compare Neto's statements to his emotions again. So let's see this. Okay, so we have... What are the emotions again? So you can pinpoint something here. Oh, this is like shock, right? So he's not shocked. Because like you wouldn't expect him to be angry or happy, but he's not shocked.
Got it.
Yeah, fair enough. See what I mean? I think these are way easier than the seance for sure. Which means he wouldn't be surprised about what happened. Or at least he expected it to happen, right? I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Something stranger with cheesy toe skin? You say what? Don't say that ever again. No, something strange with these emotions. How could you ever hurt some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who got some cheese in my ears. Oh, did he will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? He's always trying to entertain. The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we can see you. Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. Oh my god, literally bringing him some cushions. That's a bit too high. So what is this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on, it's honest at a few cushions, not a few dozen. The double tap, the aggressive double tap on the table, I love so much. It's such a thing that's central to her, right? It's like Phoenix has like, you know, the traditional like, you know, way of doing things. Apollo has a very loud voice and Athena hits the table hard. Now we've all had a good laugh. Please continue. He's like, this was honestly entertaining. I've loved this. Who's laughing? I mean, I think that's one of the things that always happens in these cases. We're nervous as heck and everyone else is having a lot of fun around us. Focus, Nina. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Neto? Don't you think that's a little odd? Yeah, that's one thing we have to like definitely realize. Is it though? A lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Neto wasn't shaken when he saw the master's dead body is because he was zoned out, he has an entertainer's guts. Yeah, we said that. He knew. He probably knew about it. If you're not surprised about something, that means you were aware of something happening already. And then I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead, which is a crazy way of expressing this. Because this is directly saying he knew about it, and it's saying that like, he has more involved in this than he says he does. It's an accusation in and of itself, I feel like. Personally, I think it's an accusation, for sure. What? What kind of thing is that to say? You got it all wrong. Oh, right, I just remembered something. I thought Shisha was just sleeping when I first saw him. Oh, okay. Okay. That's... I mean, he did only say... Now, again, I know people are with the Calvin because you think he's adorable. No, this time I'm actually saying that, like, he actually does have a good cover-up because he said, if we have it here. Oh, maybe we don't have it. He said, I think he just saw him slumped over the table. He didn't say that he saw him dead on the table. So he has, like, an out here. I'm not saying it's a good out. I'm saying it's still him changing the answer, but it's a good out. Well, we reduced the noise level at the very least. You thought he was sleeping? It sounds plausible, but... Yeah, it sounds plausible. What made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms open on up on the table as if he were taking a nap. But he also had his head in a bowl of ramen, right? So what happened there? Oh, and one other thing, there was that note too. Look the way he like keeps the things levitating in the air. There was like the confetti. A note? What note? Ah, I must be talking about this. There's a note that you didn't tell us about. Resting, do not... Huh? But wouldn't you just like, wouldn't people be... I guess you could put... Wouldn't you put that on the door? Allow me to read it. I think we got it. I think we got it. Resting, do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisha was napping? I mean, I totally get, like, I don't know, I totally get that, like, people are allowed to put up signs. It's a normal thing to put up a sign to, like, warn people that you're sleeping. But wouldn't you put that on the door instead? That is a pretty reasonable assumption. You gotta be kidding me. Taifu's note added to the court record. A note thought to have been written by the victim before his death. That's right, I saw the notes. That's why I thought Shisha was asleep. You saw the note before you found he was dead? I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. I love Athena's being very confident here. She's not complaining too much about it. She's like, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called him from the outside from the room. But he didn't reply. Info update here. When I opened the door, I thought that he was sleeping. Well, he was sad when he came in. He was the first time, so you know it's a lie. He was sad when he came in the doorway for some reason. But something seemed off, so I rushed up. He was angry here? Let's see what the last statement is, because I'm definitely going to pinpoint that. Why was he angry there? I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. Why were you angry here? Why angry? This is what I mean. I think this is way easier than the seance. I think it's way easier. I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh, even with my emotions. You're fantastic. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I said you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something, and that was anger? I guess like you would feel anger. Whenever I like hurt my toe or my elbow, I laugh at myself more than anything. It's painful, but I'm more like, oh my god, like how could you do this to yourself? You know what I mean? I was annoyed. Okay, I get that. Again, I'm not. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm being like he's okay. I'm just saying that like I get that feeling, but like still, I don't know. It seems like he's still trying to like cover things up 100%. Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Which is painful, by the way. Just a bump on my little piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I better dig deeper. Can I say as well, though, it's the least embarrassing thing to happen when you hurt your elbow or your toe on a door. It's the least embarrassing thing to happen, and I'll tell you why. Everyone understands what it feels like. Everyone gets the pain, and the first thing that's always happened to me whenever I've hit my toe or my elbow off something is nobody laughs. People instantly go, oh, are you okay? You okay? You know what I mean? Like instantly, even in like a workplace, if you do that, the first thing people go is, oh, because everyone understands the feeling. It's painful. It's something that if you hit your elbow, it vibrates through your whole arm. It's so painful. No one to be embarrassed, Nato, but I'm afraid it's something we need to look into. Her smile could honestly melt the ice in Antarctica. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on. In the area on the dressing room door in this picture, but maybe there was something there at the time. Something he could have stubbed his toe on? Uneta, what exactly did you stub your toe on? It's a good question. Usually it's the door, right? But the sliding door maybe wouldn't happen that way. What an irrelevant question. It's not. It's not. It's a part of his testimony that he stubbed his toe. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. Blackwell, can you say something to him? You tell her, really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? They do, but like, I think it's a more question to be like, on what? Because what she's looking at now is very accurate. It's like, on what? The mats are flat. The table was far away. The door was slid to the side. It's not like you can open the door and on your own toe. What did you stub your toe on? You really gotta fuss over every small detail, I guess. In a courtroom, you better believe it. And I'd be disappointed in Athena if she didn't go over every small detail. Well, the thing is... Blackwell. Oh my god. Oh my god. Even the most subtle fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us to the truth. That's so awesome. The way it's such a different dynamic from, like, say, as you said, from Maya's support or Phoenix's support or Apollo's support or Trucy's or Pearl's support. He looked at her with this look of like, do I need to say it? Do I need to even say it? And she jumped into action, slamming the table. Their dynamic works so well. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insult Simon will hurl my way, honestly. Is there really no trace left of what Arnett stubbed his toe on? What in the world might have been there then that's not there now? What are you talking about? Wait. What was there then that's not there now? Can we see... Is there other pictures? Oh, wait. Wait, can we look at the other... Is there another picture here? What in the world that was there that isn't there now? Is there another way to look? Is that the only image we have of the crime? Here? Can we notice differences from here? Because this is the zoomed in. Oh, just 3 pictures, sorry. The room is covered in someone for his drink cans in the fridge. What are we looking for here? That's not there now. That would have been there. Was making soba noodles. From scratch in the dressing room, the room was covered in soba flour. And there are 2 drink cans in the fridge. So the room is covered in soba flour, as we can see. But there's a tray. See here? There's like an empty trail. Was something here in this line? See, there's like one empty spot and it's directly leading towards the TV. Wait. Look at the way the table's centered as well. There's imprints in the floor. Do you think they rearranged stuff in the room then? No, because it was here too. He could have moved the table as he fell. Do you think he moved the TV? Like maybe it was over here and he moved it. Maybe it was in front of the doorway? Possibly? So could you say the TV? Because this is what I'm talking about. If he moved the TV, maybe the TV was here when he went in and he stubbed his toe. And he moved it all the way over here. But the TV's plugged in. Maybe we can try it. Because why is there one shape in the same shape as the TV here where the line cuts off here? In this one space here? Maybe? Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across to the room. Yeah, it's right to the TV. Now that you mention, I do see traces of something getting dragged. And the drag mark ends at the TV, for sure. That implies the TV was originally by the door. So he stubbed his toe on the TV. I'm convinced that this TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Anito, how about it? So that means someone must have moved the TV, at the very least. Yes, you're right, it was the TV. So he's admitting this. I wonder if he was the one who moved it then. There's the noise level down to 10. So we still need another one? There, the noise level dropped again. I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is it so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet. Which means he's still hiding something. Okay, let's try this tactic instead. No, why does the TV move there? That's a good question. Shisha must have moved it so he could watch my routine. But it was moved after his death. But after you stubbed your toe. Oh, she's saying why was it beside the table? But what a place to put it, right in the middle of the doorway like that. That's the thing. It's like, why was it there? I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belongs, so you moved it back. So someone put it in front of the TV. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right. It's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. There we go. That's this is such a weird thing, and it happens sometimes where, like, it's probably gonna be revealed very, very swiftly, like, why it's there. But it's an instantly weird thing where we're like, why was it moved in front of the door? I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place. I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy. I love that she's gotten more comfortable with him as the trial is going on, where she can ask him questions directly. This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Don't say that about Athena. Sorry. Oh, Athena. Come on, Blackwell. Give her some encouragement. I know mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soba shop. Oh. Hoi. Unedo. Here's a curiosity for you. This table Macerino was slumped over. Looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while we were moving the TV back? Oh my, yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisha's body moved with a jolt. That's when I first realized Shisha was dead. Oh, so that's how he like moved the TV back because he stubbed his toe. And as he did that, he realized that he didn't wake up when he hit the table. Oh, but how scared I was. Thank you. We're finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. So he came into the room, thought he was asleep. This is his perception and what he said. He moved the TV, it bumped into the table, and that's when he discovered he was dead. But I wager you need to put the spurs to Unedo just a trifle longer. Right. I can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. Here's the thing, Athena. I need you to understand something. I love that she's being self-confident. I love that she's being she's trying to rely on herself as well. Secret here, every single lawyer in their earliest days to the latest days that we've played as have relied on other people for help. Apollo literally relied on you for help during his trial. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I understand what she's trying to do here. She wants to prove herself. It makes sense. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. I love it. Again, if she wants to stand alone, that's fantastic. If she wants to prove herself, that's fantastic. But I hope she knows as well that, like, Phoenix literally just recently has relied on help from people as well. In his first trial, he was relying on help. You know what I mean? As you said, Apollo was a great lawyer too, and he relied on your help. Most lawyers have teams of lawyers, right? Unless, like I'm not saying everyone does, but like you'll see, like, celebrities will have like 10 lawyers per person. Or I know it's like usually rich people will hire like 10 people to do one trial. But it happens. It does happen. And even lawyers will have like assistants who do research for them and all this stuff. Could you please describe all that again in the court for the court in detail? All right. How could he do anything wrong? Look at him. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. Yeah, I think the Moon Matrix is also fun. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called him from the outside of the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. So here's the info update. And he stubbed his toe with poor toe. I tried to enter the dressing room, but I stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back, I hit the table. I realized Shisha was dead. And it's another info update as well. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table. Oh, Shisho. Okay, so we have... Here we have shock and sadness. Wait. He was still sad here. So I think it's the last two. I think it's the last two because these are like fine. We already pinpointed this, so it's one of these. Huh. I realized the Shisha was dead. Oh, wait. Here he realized he was dead, so he's shocked. And then he was more shocked after he realized he was dead? Is that what they're saying? Because look at it exasperates it. Here he's like, oh, he's dead. But then he's more shocked. I guess that could be a natural emotion, but I think they're trying to showcase that it grows here at the very least, right? So we could try that. Right? Like, why is he more shocked after he already... Because he discovered he was dead before that. But again, it could be normal emotion, but they're trying to show a change, and that it was a change. That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. So it's something else he saw, maybe? What was it that surprised you, Neto, besides your master's death? So something else surprised him there. Because if you already discovered the death, something else must have surprised him too. What's more, you were more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me, you little thing, we must have made a mistake.
Silence.
Oh my god, Blackwell's silencing him as well. The girl is sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. I guess that's a compliment. It is. For Blackwell, that is the equivalent. If Blackwell's saying this is the equivalent of him giving you a hug and saying, good job. Right? That is the equivalent of him doing that. Now get to remembering, Nedu. What was it that surprised you? That was a compliment, right? It is in his eyes. Well, noise level 100%. No, we pushed him back to... Wait, 100%? That's... What? He's mentally all over the place? That's it. That's interesting as well. Because I was just like, oh, noise level 100%. But I was like, wait, no. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control. Care to explain how that's relevant? You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions of a witness's voice, right? Furthermore, I look for inconsistencies between their testimony on those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run in too high, making it hard to get proper feelings. That's how your matrix program works. Fascinating. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. But it seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time. So let me get this right. The music stopped. If someone's feelings run too high, it's hard to get proper readings. But right now, there's nothing ordinary about it. It just feels it's so unnatural. Even she doesn't know what's happening. Wait, we're going back in? Have we done this before? Again, it's been a while since we played the last game. Oh wow, it's really wild. I called him from outside the room, so I'm only seeing some emotions here. The emotions that are relevant. But he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but I stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisha was dead, and here's the one we pointed at. He's not... See, that's the thing. He's looking at the cards, I think. There's something to do with the cards. Did he rearrange the cards? Was he shocked by the cards? I knew it. This music, man, so tense. What's got your knickers on the bunch now? That's a very British saying. That's such a... Is Blackwell very British? I forgot about this. That's such a British saying. What's got your knickers in all the bunch then? By the way, I think you even say this to like... guys too. It's not just girls in England. I've heard British people say that to me before as well. The internet has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I've never seen anything like this, ever. So how does one bring the situation like this back under control? I love Blackwell's genuinely interested in this. Because he knows it's a genuine talent and asset that Athena has. I'll have to find the root cause of his tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what's causing the emotional rampage, then I can probe L1 to dive further. I'll need to pinpoint what I think the root cause is and hit probe again. Though this process I can identify exactly what's causing the under so much distress. And that will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look for the root cause of Neto's rampaging emotions. After my performance, I went to the visit Shisho, so we can probe to see, like, just kind of like in the seance as well, I guess, is it? Yeah. So we need to find... So I'm thinking, like, he was looking at the cards in the last one, right? Can we look at the cards? Look at him, right? He doesn't look like he's looking at him. He's looking at the cards. Yeah. Yeah. He's looking directly at the cards. He's not looking at the body. I get it now. Those cards were the root of it all. So something about the cards made his emotions go crazy. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime, Owen Forth, is what's called... So he saw Owen Forth, and this set him off. Who's Owen Forth? So they do know an Owen, as the dying message was the cause of those feelings. That means the phrase Owen Forth must mean... Yeah, exactly. He must know somebody. Oh my god, he's hiding under the freaking table as well. There we go. We did it. We did it. Bye-bye. I love it says bye-bye. We're just like, see ya. They're noise level 0, finally. The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. But neither of those words have anything to do with this witness. He must know someone named Owen Forth. It must be like a family member or a friend. This topic warrants no further argument. You would like that, wouldn't you? You'd definitely like that. Sure, there may not seem any direct connection between Neto and the message. For now, I love that, Athena. Why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? This triumphant music. I know it's not gonna last forever, but it's so good. So much energy. It gives me energy. I trust you hit upon something, Athena? Yep. Oh my god, this music. If my theory is right, we can finally solve the case of Neto and the mysterious Owen Forth. Well, go on then. He's so proud. He can try to deny it, but he's proud. It's so cool. I love their dynamic so much. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me about Neto's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions in such intensity like a switch? So she's saying the emotions switched too fast. In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible. Is this something to do with his characters? Because he has been doing that the whole trial. He's been like switching like facial expressions, switching like to different characters. Maybe just like a really fantastic character actor. So that's it, is it? I love that Blackwell gets excitement out of this. He enjoys pushing back against Nayuta. A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. Oh, wait. So it's something psychological, not just like actually the character acting. I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Well, you should definitely know stuff about psychology as well. You should definitely... You should definitely 100% know about this stuff. Your Honor, my theory is that Neto has multiple personalities. So I thought it was going to be his characters, but maybe it's actually psychological. Maybe the reason he's such a good character actor is because he literally... It's not him pretending to act. He literally is warping between personalities. This music. With so many distinct persona, it's clear to me that Neto has dissociative identity disorder. That's a real disorder, right? I wonder if they'll probably explain it, but like, this is a situation then that becomes more sad as well, right? I hope that, like, because again, you can still live your life, I think, and you should be able to live your life with different disorders and different things with your brain and differences. I don't know what this is fully, but I hope that, like, he's aware and he's been able to get, like, support for this. What does that even mean? Nayuta? Your Honor, the defense will treat this trial as a child's jest. Oh, he's going to try and turn around here like this. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. It's a real thing. It's a legit real thing. I don't know if they're going to utilize it in the real way, because again, I'm not anyway to do with like anything like that. I don't know anything to do, like I haven't done research or anything, so I'm not an authority on it. But it's a real thing. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? I mean, that's enough. That's enough to know that it's true. So he's aware that he has a multiple personality disorder of some kind. Pokura! I can't believe it. I did it. Sorry, I thought that was him. I can't believe I did it. I did it, Simon. Oh my god. It's like, it literally is like a, I don't mean this in an insulting way. I think this is kind of like a really beautiful thing. It's very like childlike for Athena to be like, I did it, Simon, you know, coming to Simon and telling him about it. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey, Rakugo artists tell stories of different characters, but different personalities? Hey, you lawyer girl. You got a problem with us? Us. He's saying us now. No problem at all. Do you see what happened with Nayuta there as well? Nayuta, like, tried to push back by making the witness kind of be like, oh, that's not true, because he would have it out that way. He could be like, oh, this is all not true, because you could be like, I think that this witness has a multiple personality disorder, right? Any court in real life would be like, we can't force somebody to get tested for that unless we know for sure, like, you know what I mean? They wouldn't force somebody to be like, yeah, you're going to do some tests for us because you're a witness. You're not a suspect. You're a witness. So he could have easily shut that down if Unedo just said, no, I don't have multiple personality disorder. I've never had it, no whatsoever. Because you can't just make a witness do testing in real life for that. But now that he's like, oh, you found out, you knew about this. That's why Nayuta was so angry. He couldn't manipulate the situation because it almost felt like Unedo was seen for a moment. He's like, oh my god, she knows. But now we've established that the witness has multiple personalities. Could each of them please introduce themselves to the court? This is the way we're doing it? Again, I have no doubt in my mind that this is not the way things are. Maybe you guys can let me know what it is like with multiple personality disorders. But I'm sure that, like, someone can tell me. Uniterio, Rakugo's storyteller, as you know, okay. Hello everybody, Patches, the friendly jester here. Patches is adorable. Kisagawa? Courtesan. Kisagawa's hot. The thing is, though, can I say as well, though, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm being disrespectful either, because it's one of those situations where, like, they're going to play it off as kind of like a joke in this, I think, right? Because that's Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney plays off murder cases as jokes sometimes, right? With serious elements in them. But I never, like, again, I am not educated on this. I am not aware of this stuff. So anything that I say here is coming from a point of being uneducated. And I want to make that clear. And you guys know that. I'm coming from a point of a lack of education. So I hope I'll be respectful as possible. I just felt it there when I was like, oh, this personality is kind of cute. It's like, that's not really nice to do, right? It's not like to be like, oh, I love this personality of yours, when the people that probably go through that are probably like, that's a really horrible way of looking at it. So I do apologize that I, said something like that, honestly. Is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. Wait, so Owen fourth? Would that be one of the personalities then? Then there's a fourth personality. So are there 3 personalities in total? Unedo, Patches, Kisagawa, huh? Well, Simon, what do you think now? I mean, she's still like, hey, Simon, what about this? Did I do good? But he would have like a, is it his fourth personality must be called Owen. He must have a 4th personality. That you're one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out. Who was dense enough? Oh, he's talking about all the okay, saying every personality's dense. Can't you just straight up say I did great for a change? And this is what Athena wants, right? And there's nothing wrong with wanting approval from someone who is like a big part of your life, or someone who is a big part of your history, or someone who like you've seen as a big powerful force in terms of like against you in the attorney sphere. But that's what she wants here. I love that she's like, hey, can't you just be happy for me once? Can't you just be proud? Can't you just say I did a good job? And he's like, huh? Which again, in his language is like, sure, you did good, but he's not going to say it. You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense, but all you've done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I don't think this is wrong, in a sense. We revealed a diagnosis to the court in front of everybody. It did happen. But I don't think Athena meant to do it in a way that's kind of like insulting or awful. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of this certain piece of evidence has arisen. Which certain piece of evidence? A new interpretation? Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Knowing what we know about Unedo and his personalities, now it makes perfect sense. What makes... Is it the... Well, what I would say is the own 4th. That means there's a 4th personality. That's what I'm thinking. There's a 4th personality. Yeah. The Kado cards? Yeah, there's a 4th... I think there's a 4th personality. That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message after the scene. We didn't have a clue to what Owen 4th could have possibly meant. But now, with the new information about Unedo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen 4th actually means a secret 4th personality of Unedo's? A personality named Owen? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely thinking. What? Pulkuna. Unedo must have been kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated anyway with that dying message. Yeah, 100%. I think that's probably definitely why he kept it from us. I also think there's like a thing where like a lot of people just don't like revealing it personally, but I think, you know, what she's saying is true. He saw the own 4th message and realized he had a 4th personality and said, I need to cover this up, and that's why he probably changed it. Right? No, that's not why. We kept it sort of secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taken advantage of for our affliction to act as various Raku... If word this got out, well, our reputation as Raku goddess will be tarnished, as with the tornado name. That's why we kept it secret from everyone except members of the tornado school. But really, there's no 4th personality. It's just the 3 of us in here. A plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But... Oh my god, now you're just jumping in as well. I can see that it's highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Samedi actually agreeing with us? Wait, just wait. We gotta wait. However, it is not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado. What is he doing here? And then left a message in order to frame the witness? Interesting proposal, right? Wouldn't be against this idea either of someone being like, there's a 4th personality and putting the cards down there. It's a good counter. It could be a framing thing as well. I agree. I actually agree with this. Like if someone else came in first and said, okay, let's rearrange this, or if someone got a chance to go in there first. It's a good counter. It is. And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Nido rearranged them. Yeah, out of fear. Again, I'm not trying to... Again, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm trying to defend him. I'm just saying that Nayuta brings up a great point. We have seen framing happen before. We have seen people who are suspects of crimes, and it's actually somebody else. Now, unfortunately, then he could tie it around to say it's wet again, but that is what Nayuta does. He's really good at tying things around and changing things around back to his own favor. He's good at that stuff. But I can't deny that this is a plausible answer as well. It is. Silence. It's plausible. A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the tornado school knew about Tornado's multiple personalities. And he just finished saying, Blackwell. Very good. Blackwell pushing back and saying basically like, how could Wet have known about this if he's not a part of the school itself? That is true, but ultimately meaningless point. Why? The witness is only in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say? I'm not an expert on suffocation. Oh my god, because I love it. I said this before, I love the triangle way they do this. You know, they like go in like a triangle motion of like, objection, hold it, all this stuff like back in, silence. It's really, it makes it very tense. Didn't say he couldn't have done it before his discovery. See what I mean? This has been one of the most tense and like aggressive trials we've ever seen. That spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh. Gator escorted me to the dressing room. but we heard the sound of raku being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait inside the hall until he was done. Oh, wait, how does this sound? Aggressive again. That's right. Until just a few moments before the Unedo entered the dressing room, Typhus Nato was confirmed to be still alive. So, because he was still confirmed to be alive before Nato entered the dressing room, that means Nato wouldn't have had enough time to kill him and then rearrange everything. So we're saying, so again, while Blackwell did a great counter, which is like, hey, how would everyone know? Not everyone knew about his personalities. Naruto comes back with a very reasonable thing to say, which is, you need a bit of time. And again, I'm not an expert on suffocation, thank God. But I've only seen in like movies or heard from movies that like people are like, yeah, you can only like really hold on to like the air inside of your body for a certain amount of time. The only reference I have is like this idea where someone said that you can hold your breath in water for like 2 minutes or something is like, I think that's like the world record. I could be wrong, but it might not be the world record, but it's like an example of what you can do. So I imagine it's pretty similar when it comes to air. So it's like, we're talking about like, you would have to do everything very fast. Maybe that's what he's saying. Again, I don't agree with all of the methods that he has, or that Naruto brings forth. But I think it's one of those situations where we have to, if we want to really like progress this trial, we have to understand that like some of his counters are very good, even if we disagree with them, and we have to work along those lines to try and push back against them. Because if I sit here going like, oh no, please don't do that, or that's unfair, it's not going to work out. We have to just like think how to counter them in the best way possible. And thank God we have Simon with us too. Even he got knocked back. That's huge. Not only that, but Unedo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members. That's huge. That is huge. Also, this Raku performance was that day was a steaming pile of... Oh, we got reviews? Well, you get the picture. I mean, a review of the performance is actually an alibi too, because someone saw the performance. Yeah, that's a big... To knock back Simon as well, that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. Yes, I'm afraid so. When he stunk up the stage, I did. He's so happy about this 2 patches. And yet I have a perfect alibi. Indeed, why not land the coup de grace on a defense by describing your alibi witness? Wait, is this going to be a testimony? Okie dokie smoky. Okie dokie smoky. Unedo's alibi. Yeah, like that was a really masterfully done scene again. And I think the way that they have the way they've utilized Simon Blackwell in this trial so far has been incredible. Using him as not only someone who is like has a great dynamic with Athena, and having someone where Athena can turn to, and having like, you know, a great discussions and arguments amongst them, but also they utilize him in a way that like I just think is pretty fantastic by having him be both a measuring stick against Naruto, as in to say like how good is like Naruto to be able to push back against Simon, but also they have their rivalry between them, and also it showcases when Naruto is able to push back against Simon and Simon can get shocked like that. It shows that Naruto's point was actually really good, you know. They're utilizing him in a very good way. I was on stage just moments before I went down to the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. Okay. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. That's the entire statement? Unedo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on. Naruto loves this. He loves saying this because it puts, I think psychologically, it puts into our minds, if whoever he's against, to be like, oh, maybe, you know, like for a second you think, is it time to give up? Have I failed? We'll get this, Prosecutor Samadi. The writing agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end, tell him. 100%. Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. Allow me to say once more, I'm never giving up. Oh my god, I love Athena pushing back, because again, he's using his psychological warfare, which is like trying to implant the ideas of giving up in her head, trying to use the crowd, all this stuff. And Athena was falling for it at first. She was feeling it. Now look at her. Look at Athena now. Pushing back like this. Never. Look at her. Look at her. She's not falling for this anymore. This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain? No, not to Athena. Oh no, anything but this. He should not be doing this to her as well. Because he does this. He does this when their convictions are too strong. Like, they said this from the start. He would do anything in his power to make the trial become his. To make him to have full control of this trial. He would do anything. And he's doing it right now. Like, that's just not fair. Poor Athena. Yep, there she goes. Look. What's the big idea, Prosecutor Samity? That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed? As if. In that case, you must require another dose. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh! Oh! Yes. Did you swat them away? That is so freaking good. They have made the little rivalry that Nayuta and Blackwell's had so great for the story. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Psychstona were to submit to you here, I won't be able to eat good. I mean, that's one way of saying I'm going to help her out here. Blackwell swiping away the beads. I think as we said, what a great rival for Nayuta. Who better to go up against Nayuta? A lawyer who was so forceful, so dangerous and aggressive sometimes in the way he pushes along with the court case, than one of the most aggressive prosecutors who ever lived. Blackwell. Freaking amazing stuff. Really amazing stuff. The slam is so hard. That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach, I will never give up. You will rue those words, defense, of that I can assure you. Nayuta is so, offended. And I think he's even more offended because, let's be honest, Athena is more inexperienced. He probably thought he was going to be able to, work circles around her. But in a very, roundabout way, Simon Blackwell, in his own way, has given Athena more confidence, right? And I think sometimes just having someone in your corner, even if they're a little bit aggressive, is a good thing, you know? Here we go. Another cross-examination. Una's alibi. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. While my performance was a huge bust, not a single soul laughed. Oh, we already read this, by the way, yeah. I took a short break in between things. What do we press here? Because, all these statements are pretty okay, right? This is true. My performance was huge, but not a single soul laughed. I think we press maybe 1, 3, and 4. Here, we know this is true, right? But we could maybe, get information on, the show itself through this. And I don't know, I think that could help us just because we can be okay, the show didn't go this well, or the show did this way, or whatever. Maybe that could be due with the timing. You know what I mean? Maybe he left the show early. Maybe he went off stage because he was too stressed. Maybe there was a time when he was off stage. Maybe we can get something like that. Because if a show goes that bad, you're probably going to get out of there quicker, right? Maybe something like that. So let's press 1, 3, and 4 for now. And we'll see what happens. How could we be so sure it was you who was on stage? I would not have asked that question, but okay. Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, a Raku Theater is a cozy little place. It would be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think? I mean, yeah, true, I agree. Yeah, I guess you're right. Good. I'm glad we could clear that up, because I guess you could say... Okay, he's going on with the next part of the statement. Entire audience was a witness. Yeah, let's press this as well. Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance, or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. I mean, legitimately it's true. I mean, in every entertainment field, doesn't matter what it is. I used to be in a band when I was younger. And we had gigs that went so well that you're so ecstatic afterwards. And then there's times where you mess up or something happens where the audience just isn't clicking. I had one gig one time where, like, literally within weeks of each other, I remember one gig where, like, everybody was, like, so packed for the place. Not packed in terms of, like, a big crowd. It was maybe, like, 20 people, you know, like, it wasn't huge, but it's, like, the area, you know, it wasn't huge. But, like, people were there, people were listening, people were like, oh, this is awesome, and they came up afterwards and like, oh, it's really good. But then there's days I remember when, like a week later, I remember specifically, I remember maybe it was a bad omen. One of my friends that usually supported me so much with that stuff was late. And then everyone, because there was like multiple people performing that day. And like almost everybody chose a smoke break during my band's performance. And it was like midway through the first song. So that particular day, and it could have been the crowd, it could have been whatever, it could have been us, whatever. But that particular day, they were like, no. And it hits you. It hits you a bit, you know, but you have to like dust yourself off sometimes too. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more. The number of audience members, I don't think is going to be that relevant, right? Because even if you have 3 members, you're still going to be able to get something out of it, right? Because number of audience members doesn't usually matter as much as the crowd. Because you can have 600 people in the crowd and it's amazing. You can have 30 people in the crowd and it's incredible. You can have 1,000 people in the crowd and it's awful. You know what I mean? So maybe what he performed, we could say. Could you tell me which Raku story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. That, I guess, is kind of fair. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Neto's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. So you performed Time Soba, did you? What? You know Prosecutor Samdi? He did a lot of research. In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, Defense, you would do well to prepare better for your next trial. Simon, what's Time Soba about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. I think Blackwell was legitimately saying, hey, maybe like you research as much as possible for him. But in fairness to Athena, I feel like this was very short notice. And also at the same time too, again, as I'm saying, whatever investigation she could do didn't happen the same way that she would do before, because it seemed like very short notice, you know? The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at the street stall. How are you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you've got a seaweed-topped hamanaki soba and a mixed toppings shiboku. Okay, I'll have a bowl of shiboku, my good man. It sure is a cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. He's acting it out. You know it, sir. One shiboku coming right up. So how's business? I love that they're showing everybody else. Is that so? That's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, prosecutor. No, legitimately, he's that dude. Do you remember in school when there was always that lad in class who's like, I didn't study at all. And then they get like 100%. Yeah. The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he is done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 60. And he's doing his like little poses too. I see. Sorry, but I already have a small change on me. Look at her face. I'll count the coins into your palm so you could hold out your hand for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks and bye. Haha, very well done, Prosecutor Sabati. That was excellent. I love the judge is getting a kick out of it too. I mean, again, it does show how deep he goes into this, but also, like, it shows how much research he does, and it shows how ready he is to, like, and how good of a memory he has at the very least. I don't get it. What's so funny about that? Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then just after counting 8, he asked about the time. And the soba vendor asked with 9. Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10, so he was able to trick the vendor? Exactly. Cheated the soba vendor out of a one mon with his smooth talking. That's crazy. Again, I know it's like just a story. Everyone I know who owns their own business, they're counting those coins. The story continues to another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba? The story ends on that punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would perform for you after the court. He really does not like Nayuta whatsoever. So Bates' story about a man cheating on his soba bill, that's kind of petty, isn't it? Is that really all you have to say about the classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo.
Objection.
Oh! Fine, so you studied a lot. But we haven't time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sadmonk. I do love that, like, the Blackwell's courage to stand up against Nayuta that not everyone always has. He can do it in a moment's notice, but you can tell it's a bitterness. He hates this guy. Or at least he doesn't like him in this courtroom. I want to hear it more, but I suppose it's off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add it to the statement? I mean, after all this time, yes. Yes. After that full explanation, we're getting something out of this. Come hell or high water. Yes, Trotter, I'd like to have it added. Very well. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. So now this is added to this. Usually we can present something on this. Right? Do we have anything that is to do with the Time Soba or something about his performance? That can, because we have to contradict it, right? So we have to find a way to contradict this. Okay, good thing there's not a lot of information. Not a lot of evidence. That showcases that we can actually get something out of this, I think. So not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. Oh, this is about the performance itself. Inside the envelope was a ticket to the show and a letter from the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and an on-rundown of the show's program. Garrett's performed a balloon act. And then it was performed to do this Soba glutton routine. And finally, Master Tornado. So Unedo wasn't supposed to do the Time Soba. It was supposed to be... Oh, did he... So that was supposed to be for...
Objection.
The Master, not him. Is there something odd about the routine you performed? Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it. There is. You were not supposed to perform that thing. But that's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you don't think it's odd.
Objection.
Now, Yuta, what you got? We're discussing the witness alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant.
Objection.
Oh my god, you see what I mean by the most aggressive trial we've ever done? I think we've heard more objections, hold-its, and silence than any other court case ever. Like, it's crazy. It's such a short amount of time at the very least. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Samadi. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Unedo, do you know what this is? It's an invitation. What is it? This is an invitation to the show sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackwell. Including in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states the Time Soba was to be performed by the Master Tornado himself, not you, not you, not you, not you. No. The double tap at the table. It's always so aggressive. It catches me off guard every time, but I love it. Why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is how do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. A prank? What type of prank would that be? That's right, it was just a little joke, you see. I'm trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. That would be the worst thing ever. That'd be the worst thing ever. Someone doing your exact thing before you do it. That would be, again, I'm talking about my world and like when I used to play music. There's been plenty of times where legitimately, if you're doing a gig with multiple bands and then a band comes on before you and let's say they performed Scream, Aim and Fire by Bullet for My Valentine and you have that ready to perform. The first thing you would do, you could say, well, Calvin, just don't worry about it. The first thing you would do to keep the performances lively and stuff like that, you turn around and you go, dudes, we're not doing Scream, Aim and Fire. What are we doing instead? Right? It's a panic, you know? And you know people are going to be like, Calvin, it's not that important. It's just a gig for 20 people or 30 people or 100 people, whatever. You still want to like put your best foot forward. You know? You would not want to perform the same thing again in front of everybody. That would be brutal. It would be like with two people performing the same play over and back to back. The surprises would be gone. The feeling would be gone. And not only that, if there was a band better than you beforehand performing it, Jesus Christ, you're done. That's why I liked going on first a lot. I don't know if I buy that. What was doing the victim's routine just for laughs or no? Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room during Ineto's performance on stage? It seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be? What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Like there's a... Okay, I know what that means. Stop comparing me to birds. He loves comparing you to birds, though. Then cease this bird-bane timidity, Teru? Timidity? If something has occurred to you and laid out for us already. This is why I think the dynamic works, right? It's supportive in a very aggressive way. Do it, he's saying. Just do it. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Okay. He's saying, like, just do it. I think it's actually a great dynamic is for someone like Athena, who I think is an aggressive person in a very cute way herself, in a very sweet way, to have like just someone be like, do it. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here it goes. The slam of the table. It looks like his alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case. Are you referring to the sober bill the man tried to skimp on the witness story? I'm not talking about the regular story, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry. But then what are you talking about, Miss Ice? I love that she was so aggressive with him, too. Sometimes he needs it. Oh, no. What Netta might have been trying to deceive us about was... Wait, so she's talking about them hearing it in the room, right? Yeah. So did Simon happen to hear Time Soba come from the dressing room? So he heard it coming from the dressing room during Ineto's performance on stage. Is that why he moved the TV? Was he trying to... Because the cause of the victim deaths is not what would have anything to do with this. Wait. He's not trying to... No. Because this seems like it could be the answer, but it's actually not because the victim... It's not him trying... He's not trying to deceive us. He would try to deceive maybe Unedo, but not us. We know the answer to this. I'm thinking the reason I'm honing in on the time of the victim's death is because he moved the TV earlier. He was monitoring. We know that Unedo was watching the show from that TV. Blackwell said he heard it from the TV as well. Was he trying to be like... Wait. Yes. He was trying to... What I'm thinking now is he was trying to convince Blackwell and Gero that the performance is going on during his death. When it could have been... I'm thinking it could be like a rerun or something. Sorry, this thing here. Didn't Simon happen to hear time Soba come from the dressing room? This isn't referring to the monitoring. Didn't Simon earlier say that he heard him, like, rehearsing? And that's why they didn't go in? That's what that means. I thought they were talking about the actual, like, monitoring of the stage. So were we saying that he did, like, what he actually heard was from the TV? And that's why he moved the TV? That's why he was messing with the TV. I think he wanted Blackwell to hear this. Am I being confusing here? My thought process originally was the TV was, what Simon heard was that he was heard a monitoring of it, and that's why he thought that he was on stage at the time. But no, they're talking about the time that Simon heard him rehearsing. So he thought he was rehearsing Time Soba. Yes. It is 100% of the time, but I'm sorry if I'm explaining in such a proper way. I think you guys probably get what I'm saying. You're not dumb, but I'm saying that, like, I might be dumb. Right? It is time. Because time is only one that makes sense. But he tried to make him think that he was rehearsing when actually he was on stage at the time. So he could have been dead already. That's what I'm saying. He could have been dead already at this point. Because they wouldn't have entered the room if he was rehearsing. That's what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? Calvin, does that make sense? I'm looking in the mirror right now. Does that make sense? No? Calvin, get this getter. I'm going to go with time. Sorry, I'm just like... We never tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death.
Objection.
What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell testified to the time of the victim's death. He testified to hearing the performance, though. I know. But he only testified that way because he and Gato had been completely taken in. You mean by the Soba Bill thing? Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor? I'm glad she's calling him out. I'm glad. I was deceived. Pray tell, how did Neto manage to deceive the two people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. The TV. That's why he's moving the TV. The live monitoring. And why would that be? The prop he had to use was... Yep. So, in summary, he played this to make it sound like he was still rehearsing. So, that's what Blackwell heard, and no one was going to enter, so no one knew he had already died. He died earlier. He died much earlier. That's what happened. This TV was used to view what was happening on stage. Prosecutor Blackwell, when you came into the dressing room, what was the Netta doing? He's performing Time Soba. Blast, could it be? Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Gator heard was not Master Chaino practicing his routine. It was in his performance, as heard through the TV monitor speakers. This is so freaking good. And again, it took me a while to, like, explain it to myself, but I had an idea of what it was, but, like, I was, like, so sorry I was going around in circles. I mean, I knew what it was, but, like, I was trying to explain it to myself as well. You ever get that in Ace Attorney? Where you're like, it's this, and it's that, and it's this, and it's that. But yeah. What? With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside. And because we knew Master Tornado was scheduled to perform Time Soba, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing. He was dead. He was already freaking dead. That's so good. Your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Oh, sorry, that's Athena. Your knowledge of the day's program is why you two could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you heard belong to Master Tornado? With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. That's very fair. That's very fair. Because I heard Time Soba, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game.
Objection.
All that's mere conjecture. Where's your proof defense?
Objection.
Oh my god, she's pushing back already. Tornado moved the TV back when he discovered the body. 100% he did, and he admitted to this. He admitted to this. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door. Why would the TV be in front of the door as well? It's such an unusual place to put it. Because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Tornado's actions that's suspicious. And that is... the fact that he flopped so badly on stage on such an important occasion. Why is this important? Yeah, what's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know? But I believe that this time was intentional. Because Neto knew it would be strange. That's so good, Athena. That's so good. He intentionally made the sound quiet in the crowd so it didn't sound out of place. Oh my. Yipes. It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice of Prosecutor Blackwell and Gato heard was due to Aneto's scheming, then the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Aneto could have killed Master Tato himself. Athena, here's the thing. Yes, we pushed this ourselves, but Athena's reasoning with the freaking the bombing is so creative and so smart. That's so good. That's so good. We've got you by the stones now. Well, it literally means I got you by the balls. So you better confess everything. Well, witness what you have to say for yourself. We demand an explanation. Aneto? What? What? Just like that? I tampered with the crime scene. So he's not confessing to the murder, he's confessing that he tampered with the crime scene. So this is now a fact. He confessed to this. Whoa. We're fading? His defense claimed that Aneto Tornado was the true murderer of this case. If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect. I agree. I think it's a great answer by Athena. I think the worst answer Athena could give now is saying, yes, he's the murderer. No, we have to investigate it. Hold it? Now just wait 1 minute. Yes, I meant to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho. Then why did you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. What? If you suspect this witness, then I have a question for you. If he becomes a suspect, I think he has to answer, right? I think he has. Well, you don't have to answer anything, but you would be more in trouble, I guess, and more suspicious if you didn't answer. What could it be this time? Onedo has absolutely no reason to... Oh, the motive. Motive is important. After all, why would Onedo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? It's not a bad point. It's, once again, no, you did with a great point. I still believe in everything else we said before. I'm not saying he's the murderer, but I'm saying he's definitely suspicious now. But this is a good counter. Oh. Well, don't give up. Don't give up. His motive was, I can't think of a single thing. It appears you're not also aware of one other fact. The accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well? What does that mean? The accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Oh, so he would have been there before 4 p.m.? Is it not natural then to suppose that the accused killed the victim at that time? Oh, I know what he's saying. Sorry. He's saying the wet was there beforehand, so he could have killed him, so it doesn't change much. He can still be a suspect in this crime. And because he has a motive, he can still press that. Yep, that's actually very smart to do. Very smart. Yep, and he's right. He's actually right. Nobody told me Mr. Wet had also gone there before 4 p.m., but I didn't know if he knew this beforehand, but I guess we didn't know beforehand, but like, if this is the case, he's very right. He's 100% accurate in this assessment. Not to just hand over wins to our opponent, but like I'm just saying that now you're just very good at pushing back even if we don't agree with it all the time. He's very good at this stuff. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m, so I didn't think to mention it. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Oh, I don't like where this is going. So he's saying the reason he didn't say it before was because he died. We thought he died after 4 p.m, but now we think he died before 4 p.m. So now he has more evidence to show he had a motive. So you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? We don't. I don't think we asked him about it at all. At least not in this trial. Well, it was all very sudden, and it was very sudden. She should have had more time. She should have had more time. Why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon? Again, this is not her fault that she's not as prepared. Everyone else always gets like 10 years to do a like we sometimes get 5 hours of gameplay to investigate trials. Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he had visited them. Oh, there we go. I think Blackwell would have prepared us for this as well if he knew. I think he would have. This sort of thing is exactly why prosecutor keeps calling me unprepared. Technically, we are unprepared, but it's not our fault. It's not Athena's fault. The defense will stop squabbling this instant. Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecutor somebody, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know the soba making implements in the dressing room, correct? Is she talking about the equipment for making soba noodles? He talking about, sorry. Yeah, all the equipment in the corner. You speak of a large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat flour and water. The long rolling pin and the special knife that is used to cut through dough into noodles? Precisely, these tools all came from the accused soba shop. You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado? Mr. Wright had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba making lesson. Okay, and that visit was before 4 p.m., so he has like an actual, okay. He has an actual idea of why he was there, or at least he knows why he was there. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough, he made those noodles. He's gonna say he killed him right then and there. He committed the act of murder. But wait, that doesn't add up. If Mr. White killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time? Yeah, and have an argument with him, right? He had an argument after... Wait, what? Wait, what? Wet, what are you doing? He has a skateboard? I mean, it's a cool skateboard. Wet soba, you're a kid in the caboodle when it comes to noodles. Like, yeah, why would he argue with him? Right? Why would the argument happen then and there? Oh my, it definitely is an oh my moment. Hi, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Simey. Simey, he gets Simey, we get Miss Chickadee. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles. So yeah, why would he go back and argue if he thought he was dead? Mr. Wet. He's so out of it. Yesterday I brought noodle making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles. Stock up on. Uncooked noodles to stock up on? Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more. One serving of noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty. Anyway, then the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now. You ran into me in Gato where you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct? That's right, Simon. I made time out of my busy day to deliver and cook the noodles. Can we say then that why would he go back to deliver noodles to a dead man? Why would he go back? That doesn't make any sense. And you know what? He ignored me when I called him for the dory, so he thought he was alive. That's why he was angry. He thought he was alive, but he was dead already. He just kept mumbling Raku lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my sister. That was around the time of Uneto's performance. So that's why he got mad. He was mad because he thought he was ignoring him. If what he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer. Like, you could argue that he's drunk all the time, and that's something. But like, I don't know. I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicken. Jesus Christ! You see, this doesn't help us. The fact that he seems drunk all the... Did he go in a skateboard? Get this man to the infirmary? I think he needs to get like freaking like a bunch of bread maybe some chips or some like burger, something to sober up, something salty. I dare say it's quite the handful. A lot of water, a lot of tea. Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. White just made now into the evidence. I just got such a bad flashback. When I used to drink, I used to like make a cup of tea for myself late at night when I came home, which is so stupid now when you think about it. I remember even one time like how dumb. I don't drink anymore because again I think I was a stupid drunk, but I remember even fried an egg one time because I was hungry, and it's like when you really think about it, it's like 3 a.m. frying an egg is insane. It's dangerous. Let's be honest, it's dangerous. But when you're if you drink, I have no judgment. But like for me, it's like I think I was the type of drunk that thought he could do anything when he was drunk, honestly. But now I'm getting flashbacks to the taste of the tea because I can remember that it doesn't taste as good when you're drunk. I'm telling you that much right now. It feels like a medicine more than it feels like an actual cup of tea because I love tea. Tea's my favorite thing. I have 4 mugs of tea every day. Sorry for that flashback, guys.
Objection.
Oh. He's like, objection. An egg at 3 a.m. you were eating eggs at 3 a.m. I believe the accused's statement about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true. For it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up a possibility that the crime was committed between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. And of course now you'd accept this because this actually would help him out quite a bit. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wett's statements are dubious and without proof. I hate being like, that's true to a lot of Utah's statements. The reason I'm saying that's true is because like I'm looking at Wett sometimes, and again, I'm not judging him because he drinks, right? I'm not. But it's difficult to prove stuff when he's coming to the courtroom. Is he like, at least at the very least he's woozy. I don't know if it's drunk or if it's just he's sick. If he is sick, I apologize. I do apologize to him. But you know what I mean?
Objection.
Oh. But they're words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. Again, like, it's so interesting to be, like, on the other side and wanting to have this accepted, but even I'm kind of like, how can you just accept him being like, nah, that's what it is, basically. It's just his word. Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the true time of death the defendant made, the time the defendant made his visit. Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense? It's so hard because even I'm kind of like, we need something concrete for that. We need something very concrete. Alas, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence.
Simon's not accepting it, though. He's not accepting it. What are you yammering on about, Prosecutor Sadmonk? We still have something we need to question Nato about. We do? Like what? Well, don't just stand there. But we don't have any evidence left to present. Have you forgotten already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have to question? Who? A hidden witness? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet. I want us to spit on unfinished business. We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Unedo. Unedo's alibi, the Time Soba story. We're not discussing this again. His alibi is strong, its own. We haven't discussed why the word own fourth was there. We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality. The one named Owen, we did not explore this as much as we should, I guess. I was suggesting that this fourth personality of Unedo might be the true culprit. Geez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Unedo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have one for all we know. Come clean now, Unedo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you? Please tell us everything you know about Owen. That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character. Bravo, you tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Hey, Patches? Blackwell's talking directly to his personalities, by the way. If you claim you don't know Owen, when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor witness. You will be tainted with this evil. Do you have any idea how dark a cold prison cell is? I exercise my right to remain silent. What's this now? Changing horses midstream, are you? Shut up, I'll remain silent, that's it. I think that Blackwell is so, again, we're talking about like using prosecutor ninjutsu against prosecutor ninjutsu. It's literally throwing a taste of somebody's own medicine against him too. Is it manipulative? Yes. Is it like horrible to manipulate a person with multiple personality disorder like this? Yes. He referenced the one of the personalities he has that seems to be the most timid. Is it manipulative? Is it horrible? Yes. But it's the same type of manipulation that we would see from a prosecutor against us. Patches, you stay out of this. Patches is not the brightest bulb in the box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof he does know about Owen. There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. It is, yeah, it's manipulation. It's not easy to watch, it's not good to watch, but it's true. He does it, and he's using, again, the same type of ninjutsu. I'm not saying that somebody would do this exact thing, but somebody also uses like manipulation of the crowd to manipulate the case as well. I'm sure glad he's on my side. Honestly, fair. So fair.
Objection.
So fair. Because again, if he was against us right now, it'd be even more difficult. You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor, you're leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Objection.
Push back, push back. Your Honor, Annetto is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question the witness about the existence of Owen. I think this is a good place to end this episode, because I think it's like I don't know how long this is going to be, but like I assume that we're probably going to be closing in on some sort of ending sooner rather than later, just because we've been focusing on the one witness for a very long time. We haven't switched witnesses, we haven't switched who it could be, but you never know. Like, you never know how long these trials can go for. They can go for very long, they can go for short. There could be like an investigation after this. We have no idea. But right now, I think it's a good place to end it, because whatever we're getting into now is going to be long. The cross-examinations can last from anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes to 10 minutes. It can be anything. So I'm going to end it here, and we're going to come back in the next one with more of this cross-examination stuff. Because I assume that's what we're about to do with this now, if we're going to question the witness about the existence of Owen. So, with this part of the trial, I think that we have seen the dynamic between Athena and Blackwell has been fantastic. I think we started off with them kind of like, kind of being at odds, but I think throughout the trial, they both realized that they kind of like have a lot of strengths. And Athena went from not asking for help whatsoever to actually kind of being like, hey, Blackwell, help me. Because she started off with kind of like, oh, Blackwell noticed this. That means I should notice this. But then she's asking directly for help at some points too. So I think she's kind of like, they've kind of softened up to each other, but in their own ways. But I also love as well how different it is to have a character like Blackwell being like, do it, or what are you looking at me for? Just do it, very aggressively, versus like the way Apollo might treat this or the way Phoenix might treat this. Like, you got this, Athena. And I think they both work. It's just interesting to see how like Athena responds incredibly well to a push rather than a nudge. And I think it's interesting. And I wonder if it's just because her character already is very excitable. She's very energetic. She has an aggression herself, but her aggression is more very sweet, I think, sometimes too. She slams that table just as hard sometimes as Blackwell does. And she's responding incredibly well to the pressure that Blackwell brings. And she's not fumbling under it. And I actually think I've gone from being like, I've gone through a lot of stages here thinking, she's going to have to do it by herself. She's going to learn very well from this. She has a little bit of help, but it's not going to be full help. So she'll still learn something amazing from this that way, and she'll still be alone. To now, I believe she is learning one of the best traits that you can have as a lawyer, which is standing on your own 2 feet, not backing down from Nayuta, and also getting help when needed in the best way possible. And we've seen this in this trial as well. She has gone from being like, oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? To constantly pushing back on somebody. And that's why I think this trial is the most aggressive trial we've ever seen. Not in terms of like its subject matter or in terms of how deep it is, but in terms of how like constantly it's just like objection, silence, objection, enough, all this stuff like back and forth in this triangular motion. Because and again, for Athena was doing this already, but I feel like now she's even pushed back even more. There was a scene here in this part of the trial where she pushed back so much that Nayuta was like had to like shorten his sentence at one point because he knew she was just gonna keep pushing back. She wasn't giving in, and and Nayuta came into this trial 100% believing that he could just like get her to give up. That's what he wanted to do. That's why he used the public pressure. He wanted to get Athena just to give up, but she hasn't. She won't give up. And now and I think honestly that's why Nayuta's probably so angry at Simon Blackwell too. And Simon Blackwell loves, pushing Nayuta's buttons just like Nayuta loves pushing back against Simon Blackwell. They both have that personality where like they're very proud of what they do and they don't want to lose in any way, shape, or form. And in this case, Athena pushing back against Nayuta, she was given that strength. There's nothing wrong with this from having a very aggressive and scary Blackwell beside her. Because, as you said, there was plenty of times she looked over the Blackwell and was kind of like, what is he thinking? And Blackwell's like, go for it. Just do it. Why are you looking at me for? And I think that kind of like, not everyone responds well to that. I think some people would have like crumbled with Blackwell saying that stuff to him. But I think because Athena is so strong-willed, she's so, as I said, so forward and energetic already, that she took the kind of like aggressiveness of Blackwell and manifested it as an aggression in the court herself where she could keep pushing forward. And I think that's the best thing that could have happened because she could have crumbled. She could have crumbled. There's like, to be in a room with somebody in Blackwell is huge. No one has ever done it before. To not only have somebody pushing up against you, but to have Blackwell pushing you from the back as well, going, push him, right? It kind of reminds me of like a fight you'd see when you're younger where there's people fighting and you see someone pushing someone into the fight, and it's like, what can happen there is either the person who's getting pushed and you go hit him, hit him back. What can happen there? And by the way, that's way less healthy, but I want to make that clear that you shouldn't do that. So maybe it's a bad analogy. I mean, let's just use the court case in an example. He's pushing Athena, and instead of her going, please stop, don't push me, she's taking the aggression, as I said, the aggression of Blackwell and pushing her own aggression out at Samadi. And it's working well for her. Now, we still have a lot of stuff that's going to be pushed back on. Nayuta's very good at like taking parts of the court case and like turning it back around again. But I do love in a way that we have Athena getting more aggressive as the trial's going on. It's actually fantastic. I adore it. I really do adore it. It's fantastic to me. It works well. It works well is what I'd say. And I think that it's honestly like a very it's a fantastic dynamic. Now, we also have the stuff with the multiple personality disorders. I don't know how that works personally, but like I feel like it's one of those things where like it's not going to be, to me it's not easy to deal with because like it's a real thing, and aggressively we have Simon Blackwell manipulating it. But I think what people need to realize by Ace Attorney as well is that while it's not going to be something that's perfect to do, and it seems very like, oh, I can't believe we're doing that, the game's not shying away from that. The game is not telling you that this is a good thing to do. The game is not saying, oh yeah, like Simon's in the right for doing this. Simon knows that it's an underhanded trick. Simon knows that he's trying to do his manipulation. Even Athena said so. But as Athena said, it's almost like, Jesus Christ, in this type of case, I'm glad he's on our side, not against us. Not that I agree with that type of manipulation, but again, Simon never claimed to be this like virtuous person. He's doing this to save someone's life and to save our trial and to save someone from going to prison, and of course to save his noodle shop as well. So there's that stuff there that's like very, very tough to deal with too. I love the revelation in the middle. While I was confusing myself at times, going around in circles, I loved having to figure out the TV stuff and trying to figure it out in my mind. That was really fun too. But yeah, I hope I'm not making Simon Blackwell sound like he's like evil or something like that. I'm saying that like as a character, he's not afraid to do that. Whereas I think Athena, making the first step and calling out of all the disorders, Patches seems like the weakest. Athena doing that right away, I think she wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't think she would have been able to do it, but Simon pinpointed Patches seems like the softest. Let's go after Patches.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
So without him, I think this case will be over. But yeah, it's just obviously one of those things where like, I hope that this guy can get support for that. You know what I mean? Rather than, after this. Without Simon, this case would be over. Athena's doing a really good job. I think Athena's like standing her own against Samadi, which is huge. Yes, she has the support of Simon Blackwell, which is huge as well. But like for any kind of like trainee lawyer to be able to stand up to Samadi in any way is impressive. So I thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you for supporting me. As always, guys, it means the absolute world to me. I think this is the Monday episode, right? So the next episode will be on Thursday, I think, which will be, you're watching this in 2026. Thanks for coming along this year with me. It meant the world to me, Ace Attorney fans. I want to say thank you so much to my patrons, Tyfer R2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Liam, High Kasparian, Jared Bean, Neo Sharite, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, RoyalGamer7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.